Austin Hill says, just have no friends out there. Everyone's my enemy after a Kaulig-controlled Xfinity race. Freddie, spot on, spot off.
I mean, what do you want us to do? Like, move over, let him go, get in the middle of our group? Like, there's a whole point of controlling the race. And listen, we have an alliance with RCR, and I don't know if that means we're supposed to be nicer to him than we are to other people. But I specifically, if you were listening to my radio, told Chandler we cannot let the 21 car get to the lead. There was multiple times at the end of that race, obviously, middle of the race, we're all working together to try to get up there. Well, we ended up there where we needed to be. Kaulig does a great job of getting themselves in position. Maybe our execution wasn't great at the end. But, we have 3 cars in a line. We're all kind of lined up there, and it's the 10, which was Justin, Chandler, and then Daniel. And it was flipping behind us, whether it was 20 or the 21 in fourth. And a couple times the 21, who I thought was one of, if not the best car on the racetrack at the time, he would get runs on Daniel and get underneath him. And I told Chandler, I don't care if we have to hang Daniel out to dry. We have to block the 21. If we let the 21 get out in front, we may not see him again, and we've seen that, and we're not enemies with Austin Hill. The guy has won every plate race for 2 years seemingly. So that's the guy you're not gonna help him. Like you have to control him. You have to keep him buried in traffic. People probably did it to Dale forever because they know how good these people are at plate racing. So if you give them the lead or if you help them get up there, it's one thing if it's the 3 Toyotas lined up in front of us and Austin are back there. We're gonna work together to get them. But when I have a teammate in front of me and a teammate behind me, sorry, buddy, we're not going to help you get up in there and ruin our party for the end of the race because I felt like we were in the position we needed to be, and we just needed to control that until the end. But, yeah, I mean, obviously, yes, we're not going to help you. I don't know why you would expect help at that point.
You know who he reminds me of? He reminds me of Elliott at the plate races. He finds his way back to the front like nothing, and then he gets there, and once he gets the lead, damn well if he gets the lead, you're gonna have the race just got harder for you to win if he gets to the front. But speaking, I would ask Austin, like, how did you get to the lead? Because you helped all your friends get there. I mean, because you know what moves to make, and you're there, and you know that if you get your best chance of winning that race is to control it, and if you get there, you're gonna have your odds go way up. So I think they look at Austin the same way.
To that point, there was a funny point in the race where we have worked really well with RCR. Obviously, Chandler's done a phenomenal job at plate races. We have absolutely nothing to show for it. But there was a point earlier in the race where I forget who was leading, maybe Sieg, and it was we can kind of with the choose rule now you got to play that in a lot. And we had seen it was like Sieg, Creed, Custer, Chandler, or maybe Chandler then Custer and then Austin. So I went down to the RCR spotters, and I said, I think that the two, because Sieg is essentially a Stewart Haas car, or he's a Ford affiliate, Alliance, whatever that is. I said, they'll line up at the top. Sieg's going to take the top. I think the 00 will go with him. We need to just triple stack the bottom and try to make that work. And everybody's on board. Okay, great. We line up. Creed, that splits kind of how Creed goes bottom. We go bottom with him. The two Stewart Haas cars go top, and Austin went top. And I'm like, okay, I guess we're not doing that. So you want help from everybody, but at the same time, when we asked for help, you went the other way. So I don't know what you expect out of us.
Brett.
Look, man, Austin Hill has been the guy to beat. Freddie's right. He only led 1 lap, Kip, this past weekend at Atlanta. And I thought on television that Chandler Smith and the 21 Austin Hill had the 2 fastest cars. And I say that not only because were they fast, they could turn down under guys on the exit of the corner, clear them getting into the next corner, kind of side job them and blend up there in line. It looked like the way Daytona used to race years ago when it was nice and worn out. Austin's frustrated. I mean, he lost his teammate. Once he lost his teammate, I think he's a sitting duck. Kaulig Racing is not in business to help Richard Childress Racing win races at any point. In any team meeting, are they going to stand up and say, we got to make sure we help Austin Hill all day today? If I'm driving and if I'm running a team, I want to get rid of the fastest guy out there. Now, the beauty of the alliance is you do work together to make your cars faster. Kaulig Racing went through a spell there where they were the fastest plate cars out there, and I think that helped Richard Childress Racing get faster, and I think it helped Austin Hill have fast cars. I think when you look at that race, 4 or 5 of the fastest cars out there were RCR affiliate cars, including the RCR cars themselves. So I think Austin is rightfully upset. He kept saying in his interview, I just wanted to get the lead. Well, so did 30 other guys out there, bud.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I didn't have a chance to see, Saturday, but I'll go back to the point that you made a little bit earlier, the fact that, even though that you want an opportunity to work together because you're running at a track that's very similar to Daytona and Talladega. You don't have a whole lot of opportunity for that to happen because of how fast things go, right? It's a mile shorter racetrack. Things happen in a hurry. And if you end up cutting one guy a break or giving them a chance to help you, the chance of getting that back may not come around. So, yeah, I certainly understand his frustration, but at the same time, too, things happen really, really fast on that racetrack.
Continuing on the topic of Xfinity and Kaulig Racing, Justin Haley pulls out of line coming to the white flag in the Xfinity Series race, bailing on teammate Daniel Hemrick. Spot on, spot off, Brett.
Oh, boy. I think
Where do you work?
I think Daniel Hemrick did one thing very wrong and very detrimental to his finish. You want to know what that is, Freddie? I think he trusted Justin Haley. I watched that restart, and I'm sitting there, and I'm like, man, Kaulig Racing is in a really good spot. And, look, you go back. If the caution doesn't come out, it sure looks like one of the Kaulig cars is going to win. But when the caution comes out, it's like, man, this is going to get tricky. And you've got the two Kaulig cars on the outside with Parker Klingerman behind them. And then on the bottom, you've got John Hunter on the front row, which was smart of him to take the front row, and then obviously a Kaulig car behind them. Well, when Chandler and Parker both run out of gas, the top line is dead in the water. Justin Haley has no pusher. Daniel Hemrick's job on that restart was to get hooked up with a 20 and get him going and hopefully have an opportunity to get up and get with his teammates. Well, it happened so fast on that restart, I think by the time Justin realized, oh, God, I don't have a pusher, Daniel was already almost clear of him getting into one. So the way it kind of played out in my mind watching this thing, and I haven't talked to Justin Haley, nor have I talked to Daniel Hemrick, like I just saw it as when Justin Haley was catching him out of 4, had he picked up Daniel Hemrick, I think he pushes Daniel Hemrick to the lead getting into turn 1, and I think he clears John Hunter with no problem. And I think Justin said in his interview that he was running out of gas, and he pulled down. Well, I've never seen anybody run out of gas go so fast by somebody in my life.
When we ran out, we didn't pass anybody.
I think this is a case of Daniel Hemrick feels the heat of I've got to win a race right now. And I think this is Justin Haley feeling the same heat of I've got to win a race right now. I'm coming off a stellar effort in Chicago. I'm a great drafter. If I can clear Daniel Hemrick right here, I think I have a chance to win. And I just think for Kaulig Racing, it just kind of sucks because you should have won the race. And the way it played out, you didn't.
Yeah, I mean, I felt like we were in position to win the race. I thought, to your point earlier, I thought us and the 21 had the best cars. We got to second with, I don't even know, 30, 40 to go.
One time, Freddie, you made a couple of moves that I didn't agree with. You left the top open. You didn't get up in a hole. And you fell to 8th. And I was like, well, he's screwed. I turned around, and you drove right back to 2nd. That's how fast you were.
Yeah, it was one of them things where, there was one tight hole that we were only going to go back 2 more spots, so we didn't get up. And then Chandler, like I thought, and at the same time, Chandler, we've talked about this with Chandler before, me and you both probably. He for one trusts people too much at plate races. Like same thing with Austin Hill. People see how fast your car are sometimes, and if you make a move, they might not go with you because they would like to see you dump back to 8th. As much as it might help drag them up to 2nd, they still don't want to see you out front. So they're going to let you go to the bottom and close that hole up and hopefully shuffle you out. Luckily for us, our car was unbelievably fast.
I don't trust Chandler.
Yeah, no kidding.
Just so you know.
But we got to 2nd. I told Chandler, we're just gonna ride here, bud. Like we're where we need to be. We have a teammate behind us. Hopefully he can throw the block. We talked about he can be the blocker. We'll cover him when he does block. If not, if somebody makes a move on him, it gives us a little bit more time to throw a block. So I'm like, we're where we need to be for the end of this race. Like you don't need to move for the next 30 laps, and that's what we did. And there's a couple times I saw him maybe off at like 2 to go, coming to 2 to go. Actually, right before the yellow, he started to back up. And obviously if you watch play racing, if the guy's backing up, he's trying to create a gap to get a run on the guy. And I was like, wait, not yet. Like we can't, because I don't want to get side by side with 2 to go and open the door for somebody else to come up in there. I don't mind if we do it taking the white or down the back, whatever. But, you do that with 2 to go, and now you've invited somebody else to the party a lot of times. But I thought we were in position, obviously. The yellow comes out. I'm like, damn it. We're talking about. And listen, Kaulig got lucky because one thing happened that I wasn't expecting, and we had talked about it, with the Trues rule. We were going to triple stack the top because I had assumed that the 20 and the 48 were going to go to the bottom. And because I just, Parker's super aggressive. He's really good at pushing. I was like, if he can push that 20, and the reason why we were going to triple stack the top with the 20 leading was we've done it 3 times before, and we were able to. He was not very good. His car wasn't great, so we could easily drive around him every restart we had and clear him and get all 3 of our cars clear. So that was our plan. Luckily for Kaulig, it didn't work out that way, where Parker actually chose behind us, so that gave the 11 the opportunity to take the bottom. If not, we would have killed all our cars. All the cars would have been in maybe outside the top 5. So, it got lucky there. But, to your point, it was funny because Justin had Frank Denny spotting, obviously, and Justin gets on the radio and tells Frank when we're running second, make sure Chandler knows, Kaulig has to win. And obviously he wants Chandler to just push him to the win. Obviously,
he means Justin Haley has to win.
Yeah. Oh, well, yeah. So, and then what happens off of 4 happens where he pulls down and kind of ruins any chance they had at winning. Was ironic, but
I've been in that situation before.
Yeah,
earlier this year.
We had it in perfect. And when Chandler runs out of gas, it's like all car. And the way it worked out was perfect because Justin could have very easily been hung out to dry, and it was just luck, sheer luck of the way the lines broke up that he was able to even tuck in behind Daniel and start to get that run. But yeah, unfortunately, I think we were in position to get one and didn't get it done.